You know, there's an enormous difference in performance between different brands and models of golf balls. Heck, these range balls are probably 25 or 30 yards shorter off the tee, off a driver, than the golf ball that I play on the course. That's to be expected, but you'd expect a lot more performance out of the premium, let's say, tour type urethane ball you're playing. But even in that top tier category, there's still an enormous difference in performance. So in this video, I've broken it down to my top 5 best performing golf balls for your game. So stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. I'm on a journey to hit it longer and straighter off the tee. Be longer and straighter just in general, and that involves turning over every possible stone in search of a little bit more distance, whether that's the club or the technique, the tee, or even the golf ball. Hey, I hope if you're sharing the same journey and you're a distance seeker like I am, then you'll consider at the end of this video hitting the subscribe button, the like, and leaving a comment down below. So hey, today we're talking about my top 5 golf balls that will be the best for your game. Let's get started with the list. Coming in at number 5 is the Kirkland 3-piece signature ball. Everybody is raving about this. The average golfer, we love to go out to Costco and buy our balls at an enormous discount, and these don't disappoint in the value department, and that's basically why they make my top 5 list. The value can't be beat. You're getting 2 dozen golf balls for $29.99, so about $15 a dozen. And what do you get for that? You get a ball that spins off of wedges and irons and around the green, maybe more than any other golf ball out there. It's amazing how much it spins. So when you are ready to move up and you don't just want to play golf anymore, but you're actually really start worrying about what you're going to score, you really need to step up to a more of a premium urethane golf ball that's going to give you a lot of spin on all the shots you need the spin on, like bunker shots and pitch shots, wedge shots. You need those shots to stop on the green or stop very quickly. Well, the average, let's say, Pinnacle or Top Flight or any, let's say, other value ball that you might pick up in the golf store is not going to give you that high rate of, and you might hit it a little farther, but you're going to lose all those strokes up by the green and more, because that ball cannot be controlled around the green. So while with the Kirkland golf ball, you're certainly giving up both distance and dispersion, you're getting a pretty decent quality golf ball that spins like a tour ball, that will help you score better and won't cost you a lot of money. Okay, so for my number 4 selection in my top 5 best golf ball list, I go to the Volvic. The Volvic S4, very interesting golf ball. You know, Volvic hasn't been around for a long time, but they've come up with this really pretty good golf ball. I'd put it far short of my top 3, but a little bit better than some of the other top balls on the market, like the Srixon or the TaylorMade. So what I like about the Volvic is it's got probably the highest amount of wedge spin you can get in any golf ball, and it backs it up with, because it's such high compression, you get a lot of distance, even though the spin rate off the driver is also a little bit too high for my liking. So you're going to lose 5 or 10 yards off of my top 3 selections, but you're going to make it up with more spin on the wedges, and it seems to have a fairly reasonable dispersion rate as well. So in the robot testing, all the golf balls came to rest in a reasonably small area. Before we get to my top 3, I just want to say I've got a couple honorable mentions. Those go to the TaylorMade TP5X and the Srixon Z-Star. Both high quality balls. You will be giving up a little bit of distance, spin, and dispersion with either one of these golf balls, but still really nice golf ball. All right, coming in at number 3 on my top 5 list is the old reliable Titleist Pro V1X. Now, you can't go wrong in terms of the dispersion. It's probably got the tightest dispersion of any golf ball in the industry. This is probably because they have the most control over the manufacturing process. So you get the most consistency in both the core and the cover of the golf ball, the dimples, every part of the golf ball is probably a little bit more consistent from ball to ball. So when you're a lower scoring, lower handicap golfer, well, distance control and spin control need to really be consistent from ball to ball. You really want that wedge. If you hit your wedge 127, you need it going 127 and not 133 and then 124 on the next swing. Then you can always go back to the old reliable Titleist Pro V1X. I prefer the Pro V1X because it is a little bit longer and the dispersion is very tight. Now coming in at number 2, a really strong number 2, edging out the V1. I really like the Bridgestone BX right now. It edges Titleist Pro V1X just about in every category, both in distance, lower spin off the driver, and dispersion rate is just a little bit behind the Pro V1X, but I think most of you out there will not be able to see a difference. You'd have to be an incredibly good golfer, almost like the robot that was testing all the golf balls, to be able to see any difference in dispersion. So you're getting a super long golf ball. Remember, this is for any speed of swing. You don't have to be swinging at a tour speed to get the added distance that you're going to get out of any of these top 3 golf balls. Both the Pro V1X, the Bridgestone BX, and my number 1, which you're going to see in a second, are both extremely long off the driver with high launch and low spin. It's really going to carry and roll out there. These golf balls are up to 30 or more yards longer than the shortest premium golf balls that are out there. So you're really getting a big distance boost. And I just like Bridgestone for its little bit of an edge in a few categories over the Pro V1X. All right, and on to my number 1 golf ball selection. I've covered all the top major brands, haven't I? So what could possibly be left, right? Well, what it is, it's the Snell MTBX. It's their harder, higher compression ball. Comes from the mind of Dean Snell. Dean Snell helped to design both the Pro V1, the TP5X, 2 other great golf balls on that list. Well, he was instrumental in designing those golf balls, and he knows maybe more about golf balls than almost anybody else in the industry. He branched off to form his own company called Snell, which is it's a direct-to-consumer golf ball. Therefore, you can get a really, really high-quality, high-performing golf ball at a much lower price than some of the other top balls on the list, like the TaylorMade and the Bridgestone and the Titleist are all in the, let's say, $45 a dozen, but in quantity, you can get the Snells down to under $30 per dozen, and that makes a really big difference. That's a lot cheaper to pay for a dozen golf balls than the $45 to $50 a dozen. You're saving a lot of money. But what do you get besides the added value in the Snell? Well, number 1, you get easily the longest golf ball tested out of all the golf balls out in the market, and Snell was 4 yards longer than even the second place competitor. What else do you also get? You also get an incredibly high rate of spin off the wedge. What a great combination. You can knock it further down the fairway, so you have just a wedge into the green, and then your wedge is going to hold the green, or your 9-iron, whatever you're hitting into the green, it's going to hold the green even better than any other golf ball as well. Now, the only thing you're giving up with the Snell is a little bit of added dispersion from, left to right and short to long. Your circle is going to be a little bit bigger than number 2 or number 3. But if you're just a golfer who's, say, between a 5 and a 25 handicap, you're probably never going to be able to tell the difference in dispersion, because you yourself and your swing are making too much human error to be able to even notice the small extra amount that the golf ball is giving you. Now, my top 3 golf balls, I'm going to put a little asterisk on them because, as I said with number 1, the Snell, and it's a little larger dispersion rate. That's probably because they don't quite have the same overseeing or control over the manufacturing process, and maybe they're not quite as consistent from ball to ball like Bridgestone and Titleist are. They might be the best in the market right now. However, the asterisk is, if let's say you're a really super low handicap golfer, let's say you're a I don't know, a 2 golfer, 2 index or better, all the way up to +3, +4 amateur golfer, I would definitely downgrade the Snell down to number 3, and I would rank them the Snell number 3, the Titleist Pro V1X number 2, and the Bridgestone BX number 1. I still like the Bridgestone a little bit over the Pro V1X. That's just me. You might like to be a Titleist guy for life, and that's great. Can't wait to see you and tee it up next to you, and we'll just see which golfer wins, because we know it's not going to be the golf ball that's going to be holding us back. So the Snell might not perform in its consistency up to your standard if you're a really good golfer. You should try them just to see, because they are up 5 or 10 yards longer than the number 2 and number 3 golf balls off the tee, if you allow for carry and roll. So you are getting an extra club out of them, and a high amount of spin is great too. But when it gets to that higher level of golf, that consistency in the golf ball really steps to the front. So hey, I hope this has been a little bit educational, and I've helped you whittle down all the different choices there are on the ball market, helped you maybe get down to 2 or 3 different selections. That way you can get a sleeve of each, go try them on the course for the next month or so, and see which one you like the best. Maybe it'll come down to something else that I haven't covered. Maybe it's just value. Maybe you place value higher than some other golfers. Maybe you place distance higher than some other golfers. That's just you. That's why you got to get out there on the course, and you got to test all of my top selections. So hey, I'm Steve. Thanks again for watching, and as always, either I'll see you in the next video, or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway.